Hey guys, welcome back to the MarMar's podcast. I'm Maria,
And I'm Marie.
and today we have two guest stars. We're going to be talking about Studio Ghibli and anime as a general discussion. Our two guest stars today are Christine and Noah. So, to start it off, what are your guys' favorite Studio Ghibli movies?
Gene?
Mm, what did you say, Noah?
Oh, no. No, they go,
Uh, I would say that one of my most favorite Studio Ghibli movies would be, wow, that was repetitive. Howl's Moving Castle for the art and the music, like Merry-Go-Round Life. And it's a generic answer, but I feel like there's a reason for that. I watched a lot. I watched Ponyo, Spirited Away, Laputa Castle in the Sky, but Howl's Moving Castle is pretty magical.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. First off, how dare you say it's generic? And second off, I'd say Nausicaa is a close second for me.
Interesting.
What
Yeah.
about you, Maria?
I haven't watched that many yet, but my favorite is also Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away. I thought those are pretty cool.
Mhm.
You, Marie?
Nausicaa or Castle in the Sky. Those are pretty cool ones. But I noticed how all of us stuck with animated, like 2D, watercolor, animation. But there's a new one coming out. Earwig. I don't know the full name. I just know that Earwig is part of it. And the difference with this one is that it's actually like CGI animated, like 3D. What are your thoughts on this new type of movie from Studio Ghibli?
Uh, I am scared about how this is going to turn out. CGI and anime, I don't think ever comes out looking nice, I guess. Any
Mm.
thoughts?
I mean, Marie, you said that we only talked about 2D ones because there are only 2D ones, but I don't know. I never thought that it was a bad combination. For example, there's like Astro Boy and 3D Doraemon movies, and they're still pretty good. I feel like Hayao Miyazaki's trying to like try out new things, and also 2D animation is just way more expensive, and the way that they need to like overwork their artists to get a bunch of frames out. So I think it'll be interesting how they use 3D animations, but the movie seems pretty generic. It's like a witch story again.
Oh my
And
gosh, dude.
and even in Howl's Moving Castle, I believe they did use some 3D animation with the movement of the castle. So they do use little bits, but their main and their iconic thing is 2D animation and watercolor.
That's true.
I
Yeah,
think
it'll be their first like 3D like CGI stuff because usually Studio Ghibli's known for like their 2D art, so definitely interesting. What were you saying, right?
I think I heard that Hayao Miyazaki's son is like doing the Earwig movie, and like maybe like because his son is more modern, he wants to like take a more modern take and like move with the times. And I know that like his son also did Tales of Earthsea. I don't know if any of you have watched that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I heard it wasn't good though. Like it wasn't very good.
Whoa. Great, so I'm not, I like it.
Controversy.
Yes, maybe that's why his son is taking chances out here.
And the Ghibli movies are pretty iconic. Like there's just stuff about them that's different from other movies, you know? What do you think is so special about Ghibli movies?
Uh, the aesthetic and like, you know, the messages like they play off. Uh, a good example is like the running motif of war in most of them, and like, I'm not gonna point to the Firefly one. I'm not gonna do that. What I am gonna talk about is like, uh, in House Moving Castle, there was actually like the side plot of the movie was the war occurring, and they don't even show it off that to be very significant in there. And it's like it shows it it shows so much that the importance of the war doesn't really play a part until it actually does in the main plot of that movie. Like it's masterful. Like what they're doing is like I don't know.
Deep
Christine.
stuff. Um, I feel like something special is how it plays in a lot of people's childhoods too. Like on top of the deep meanings that Hayao Miyazaki tried to relay to us. Like a lot of kids, like even though they're just like American, they may have seen Studio Ghibli before, and I'm pretty sure it's because Disney distributed them at a point and maybe still doing it now. Uh, some iconic ones in my childhood would be like Ponyo, Totoro, and yeah, and just like the art and how kids see it and think it's also beautiful is nice and inspiring.
Um, well, there's a lot of good stuff, but like, why do you guys think it's so popular? Like, does like it cater to like everyone's perfect needs?
Mm, I think maybe it's the nostalgia factor because it's like, you know, again, they were part of their childhood, but it's also just the fact that it's like it's a lot different from everything else that was produced that's like an animated movie. Like it has a very childlike wonder to them, but it's still so different from like Disney or any other like, and it's very different from anime too, which
Mm-hmm.
is, it makes it so prevalent.
Yeah, and apart from the nostalgia factor, even after all these years, you can look back to it and the quality is insane. And even if you're older and don't have nostalgia for the movies, you can appreciate the art and just like the entire environment that the movie produces.
That's true.
Well,
Yep, go ahead.
um, well, Studio Ghibli, I think mostly or totally focuses on movies. They haven't done any animated shows, which in the future would be interesting to see if they did. I like Hayao Miyazaki. But anime, which is kind of like Studio Ghibli, but like less artsy and less, effort. I'm not no. But like, what do you guys think of anime?
Well, why would we be talking about it today right now?
Yeah,
It's because
that's,
Noah and I do like anime and we
Coincidental?
I don't know if you
I
know
didn't
this,
know.
but I watched Dragon Ball.
I watched one episode of
Sidetrack.
Naruto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what's your
What was your
favorite
question?
anime? What
Why
do you
anime
guys
is
think of
popular?
anime? I'm sure you have favorites, or at least ones that you like.
Oh, I was supposed to say something. Oh, I mean, the classics usually always hold a place in my heart, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Fully
The
Cooley,
big
I guess.
shonen.
The big
Mhm.
shonens. But like, there's also like small develop. Do you know? I can't. Durarara? I guess that's how you pronounce it. Or
Oh, I
Durarara.
know that
Yeah,
show.
Durarara.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or any mechas. Yeah, those are particularly good. How about you, Christine?
Huh. What I like about anime. I mean, I like the ones. It depends on what mood. I get to pick and choose what I want to watch, but some I like the ones that move me sometimes. Like Anohana, I was just like, by the last episode, I was just crying so much and it was so emotional. And even Devilman Crybaby, it's more violent, but even at the end, it moved me and it like triggers something in you because of all the message, but and the messages and the art. But some can just be meaningless and like slice of life that you just want to enjoy and eat and watch. Like I watched Psyche K and there was Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. But there's a lot. I also really like the mainstream ones like AOT, Tokyo Ghoul.
How
And
about yeah.
What about you, Maria?
my favorite anime, or what I like.
I guess so.
Um, I don't know. I've watched a lot, but definitely the mainstream ones because they're obviously mainstream for a reason because they're really good. I guess the ones that like, well, my classics, meaning like the first ones I watched, definitely hold a place in my heart, like Haikyuu, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, because those are the first ones I watched. So they're pretty special. What about you,
But I
Mary?
feel like, yeah, Marie.
I mean, I haven't watched many. I've only like finished one, but like My Hero Academia, Haikyuu, One Punch. One Punch is really funny.
Yeah, it is. What are you gonna say, Christine?
I feel like we have the tendency to say that like a lot of the animes that we watch are mainstream, but I feel like it's because we've gotten into the fandom and anime is kind of taken a trend these days. And I mean, depending on how you classify things, I guess you could say that Bungo Stray Dogs isn't mainstream, Devilman Crybaby isn't mainstream, and a lot of the ones that we watch. So yeah, we're not that generic.
To be fair, a lot of those animes really fall on the edge. Like,
yeah, but there's a reason we get to know them because we've seen their names float around.
yeah.
When did you guys first get into it? Like, what was the first show you guys ever watched?
Do you remember?
Ever since I was a little itsy bitsy zygote, I was watching Bleach. First anime, classic, beautiful, and anybody who says against that, they are wrong. Yeah, no, really a good starter anime, I guess. I mean, you know, the classics, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. Like from that, you move on to some like normal stuff, you know.
I mean, for me, I was also kind of born into watching anime because a lot of famous shows in Korea happen to be Japanese anime that has been like dubbed in Korean, like Crayon, Shin-chan, Doraemon, Conan. I grew up watching like Carrot Carrot Change, Sugar Sugar Rune, Mermaid Melody, Peachy Peachy, Pitch, and Shugo Chara, and all of these like girly little kids anime. But then I feel like the first one that I really got into when I understood that this was anime was probably Uran. Yeah, high school host club.
Yeah.
Uran High School Host Club.
Yes, that one's a classic too. People are still waiting for season 2, but sadly, I don't think that's going to happen.
Still?
I don't think they're planning on having a season 2.
It's been like 10 years.
That was like, this is from Christine's childhood. That's gotta be a long time.
We're gonna pray about it.
What's your like comfort, like your comfort anime that you just go to when you're like feeling down or like you have time to kill?
You have any, Christine? No?
So a thing about me is that I don't really rewatch things. Like movies, I don't reread books that much unless I completely forget about it. And even if I like really like it, it's hard for me to go back. I don't know why. It's weird about me. But recently, a comfort anime for me has been Psyche K because I would just watch it while I'm eating. And the plot, there's not exactly a plot. Every single episode has like a different plot, but there's like an overarching theme about Psyche and his friends. And it's just comedy. It's nice. Free time. Yeah.
It depends on what like you think of as comfort. I like sad anime sometimes because it's like, oh cool. So it's like this is sad and it's also not real, I guess. I don't know why it's enjoyable, but do you have any? How about that? How about I ask you if you have any comfort animes?
There are 4 of us here. You have to be a little bit more specific.
Marie, I know you're not really into anime that much, but you seem like the type to maybe have a comfort anime.
Out of listeners that you've watched any of them that you really like, that you would like rewatch scenes or clips, like that counts?
Probably One Punch, because although I like Haikyuu and My Hero Academia, some scenes are just like secondhand embarrassment.
Yes.
When he makes the absolute stupidest decisions of his life. I don't want to keep watching that over and over again because I'm just like, that was no. But One Punch, I feel like you can watch over and over again because it's just funny and just him fighting monsters.
One Punch is great, yeah. As for me, my comfort anime, I don't exactly have one, but I do rewatch a lot of clips from like Haikyuu, Bungo Stray Dogs, and Hunter x Hunter because like those are like definitely one of my favorites. I just rewatch them because it just makes me happier because they have funny scenes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all anime comes from manga, and there's been a lot of debate about whether manga's better or anime is better. Do you guys have a preference?
This is a very debated question for good reason. I mean, it's obviously anime. Obviously, anime is the better form of media, but like, it really depends on the person, you know? Because like manga is just anime, but you know, books, I guess. So if you want to read, but you know, it's really up to the person.
Mm.
Christine?
I mean, I would start off by saying that I have no preference and I don't think that I have the right to talk on it just because I haven't gotten that into manga. Maybe when I'm older, I want to purchase a lot, but right now, the only options for me are illegal sites. And I mean, I do have 5 The Promised Neverland books that I read, and it was nice. But I noticed from The Promised Neverland and Beastars is that, yeah, there are more details in the manga. But I know that there are definitely people who prefer consuming animation. So, yeah.
Yeah, because animation, like compared to manga, you get to like see it. You don't have to visualize all the movements. They already like show it to you. And it's just overall cool, you know? Especially like they add music. You can't really add music in manga. And then there's so many like OPs and OSTs that are just really nice that come from animes.
I mean, all anime doesn't even come from just manga. Some are from like light novels, or the writers just decide to write it and produce it. But yeah.
I mean, it really. I
I
mean, the
mean, yeah,
question of
the bulk is manga, but
I mean, at that point, like, if it's not from manga, does it really count? You know, like, what constitutes anime? You know, like it's Japanese animation, but like, what could you really say is the limit? You know?
Right, yeah, because a lot of people were like debating, is Avatar The Last Airbender?
Yes, yes.
It's animated,
no,
but like it's not your
no,
typical
hell
anime.
no. It's first of all, I actually don't want to sound uneducated. I don't know if it's from America or like any other English speaking country, but it's not anime. To me,
I'm
like
willing to sound under it.
it doesn't matter if it's from manga light novels or whatever. Like Japanese animations just are anime, but I feel like people tend to associate anime with more 2D and like that classic format of either like 20-minute episodes and like seasons or like movies. Avatar: The Last Airbender is not an anime simply because it's not from Japan, and even the art style, some people compare it to being similar to anime, but I feel like it doesn't have the same feeling at all.
What do you think, Noah?
Okay, I gotta admit that. Unlike you, I'm willing to sound uneducated. 100%
Okay.
definitely American. But, I mean, I can see why people say it has some of the feels of anime in terms of its, like, animation. But I can also see the obvious reason of why it doesn't feel like anime. Like, it doesn't have the same, I, definitely very different, but like, I still gotta say it's an anime just because, you know what? Why at that point, like if it's based off of feeling, like it feels like an anime, it's an anime, I guess, because it's really a subjective thing, you know.
I guess it's because I don't think it's subjective or based on feeling. I feel like it's just based on origin. But then that also brings up the question because there has been recently, like for example, Crunchyroll I believe they collaborated with Korean webtoon artists, and they also want to collaborate with like American artists as well. And are those considered anime? More people consider those as anime than Avatar: The Last Airbender. So
I mean,
confusing stuff.
is it like geographical location that decides? Because obviously, Japanese animation, like, but like,
Mhm.
I don't know. There's not just like one kind of it's not American animation, like,
I see it as like the studio behind it and the bulk of the artists. If they're like, I don't know, if they had to get like education through Japanese style.
True, yeah, because the art style plays like a major role in the feeling of if it's like an anime from Japan or an animation from America. Because like you can tell the difference between like Haikyuu and Family Guy. You know Haikyuu is an anime.
I don't know what you mean. Family Guy's my favorite anime.
Sure. And I mean, even in anime, there's a wide range of art styles. You won't really see the same art style in animes.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, they have a very distinct art style. Like their coloring is really different, and like they got like yellow roads and like purple skies or something like that. It's like really different.
It
And
pops. It's bubbly.
yeah, so there's like a lot of different things. Family Guy is not anime.
Yep.
Okay, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
NordVPN.
Crunchyroll.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the Crunchyroll ads.
Oh my gosh.
I
Disney
don't see
PTSD.
them. No offense. I have ad block.
God, when I use
And
Crunchy.
that's our sponsor for today's broadcast, Adblock. Christine, take it away.
Hey, I watch ads on my phone, and I usually watch YouTube on my phone, so that's legal.
Adblocks don't work if I try to use it on Crunchyroll. That's why I go on different websites to watch anime, you know?
I totally pay for.
Yes,
And my parents pay
definitely.
monthly subscriptions for.
hmm And speaking of animes, what about their fandoms? Because that's definitely a whole different arena than the anime themselves.
Oh man, I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of funny opinions on anime fandoms. Ooh boy.
Want to share some of that?
Go
No.
ahead.
In fact, I don't. Christine, why don't you take it away?
Huh?
You heard me.
I've had my fair share of interesting anime fandom experiences, as in like when you enter the internet and then you get to be exposed to all of the free content that people make. I feel like anime fandoms don't really get into fan wars the same level as other fandoms happen to. I mean, I guess some fandoms get like into fights about like what anime is like better or like what deserves to be like the top 3 or stuff. What?
I think you are very wrong, and I think what you
Okay.
said was so wrong.
Okay, then say your opinion. I'm willing to
Okay.
change.
All right, let me show you how it's done verbally. All right, so a good example of like I there can be a lot of heat to fandoms, like I mean
Mhm.
I don't want to pick like pick on the kick a dead horse. My Hero Academia fandom, that's a pretty good example though of like how fandoms can easily turn wrong and like just have a lot of passion behind it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and I know like that's usually what takes the scene, but there are
Oh
a
no,
whole
anime
lot of
fandoms have a
toxic
lot of fights between the fandom,
toxicity.
like civil wars, but I mean by like fandoms with each other, separate ones.
I mean, you're not really. I don't think you're gonna find that in any fandom. Like
K-pop.
Yes.
that doesn't count. That doesn't count. If we talk
We're not
about
gonna talk
K-pop,
about
I'm
Hey,
gone.
American artists too. But anyways, we're on anime.
Yes. Well, that'll be a different talk show.
I mean, another uh fandom. I don't think the general fandom's toxic, but I've heard things about it. The Naruto fandom.
Yeah.
And people these days have been kind of reverting and being like, oh my god, you guys are going overboard with mocking Sakura and harassing everybody to watch Naruto or they're not an anime fan, and how Bluebird is amazing. I agree though. I still want to watch it.
Yeah, same. It's just long, but someday, one day, I might watch it and just go through it.
Time to watch. We have no time to watch it.
Yeah.
No time.
I mean, I guess something significant in fandoms are, I mean, first of all, there's the big cosplay community. There's the
Nice.
shipping communities.
Mhm.
There's conspiracy people, or like people who like to compare things, like, oh, who's like the strongest character. I mean, there are some leading anime YouTubers that lots of people tend to watch and just follow, like the Anime Man, Aki Dearest, Giguk, Seadog VA.
Mhm. Yeah, the fandoms are like spread to other platforms too, like TikTok. There's so many like TikToks of different animes. I've seen a lot because, well, my For You page is just filled with it, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Especially like
Mhm.
fan art. Some people can make really good fan art.
Yeah, like enough with the negative about fandoms. Like the amount of creativity that the anime fandom has is pretty amazing.
Like, I wish I could draw like that, but that will never happen.
Oh, you can do it.
Let me just draw myself with a Haikyuu member.
And people cosplay on TikTok too, like that maid dress thing. The guys.
Nice. Nice, dude.
I mean, I've seen a lot of videos like that. It's very interesting.
Look, I'm not going to talk about it. I have too many opinions that are going to take to this PG.
I just feel like the
podcast.
anime fandom, because it's so bizarre that it tends to be really open to things. Like, we're fine with feminine men. We're fine with, like, the LGBT
Oh God, we're actually
community.
talking about it.
We're fine with many other races. And it's just like, it's so weird that everybody's accepted. Because anime itself just has, like, bizarre things. And it's just like, wow, us watching it at all, we're a community.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, what are you going to say?
I was gonna say a word that I think I don't know whether or not it is okay to say,
Oh,
so I'm just
don't
not
say
gonna
it. We're
say.
good.
Yeah.
We're good. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway.
Maria.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like a lot of people like tend to hate on anime, and usually it's because of the fandoms. Like they think the fandom is so like pressuring, like, oh, if you don't watch anime, you're like bad or whatever. Like you gotta watch this; it's so good. And then like it kind of drives people away. But you gotta give anime a chance, Like don't listen to the fandoms sometimes. Just give it a try for yourself, experience it, and then judge from there.
Yes. Also because anime is just so vast. And like even if you don't
Oh
like
yeah.
one anime, you can find something else that's completely different. Yes, Marie?
I just
CJ.
thought of a point that I wanted to bring up, but it's not appropriate to bring up now because you're still talking. So
Okay,
No.
well,
You can bring it up.
Yeah.
I just thought about how absolutely terrible English dubs are.
Oh my gosh, don't get me
so
started.
Disgusting.
for most animes, I will
Okay.
not protect the English dub. Some are just like
Yeah.
hilariously bad, but I will protect Black Butler, Ouran High School Host Club, Naruto, Pokemon, and Hunter x Hunter.
I think you guys are leaving out a key anime to talk about when you say English dubs, and that is Ghost Stories.
Oh my gosh, I've seen the videos of the dubs. Those are
I think I
hilarious.
know what you're talking about. Wait. Is it the one with like the black rabbit? Or is it
yeah.
So many funny things. Those stories,
It's because you're
A classic. A classic. Oh, dude.
or the old Devil Man. That's hilarious. Like the dubbing's so bad that it's just like real.
It's just American voice actors they can't get the vibes that Japanese ones do. Like Academia,
I feel like
Deku's
just
voice,
recently.
No,
Oh yeah.
no,
Yeah. Yeah, I
it's
agree.
not
Dude,
it.
what do you mean? I love Macadamia's voice acting for English stuff. He's so funny, dude.
Yeah, I feel like he just sounds more wimpy in the American version.
There's just not enough passion, you know, like the Japanese voice actors have.
There is no passion.
Yes. The nerd character has too much of a weakling voice. Wow, really demasculating him, Christine. The poor soul.
No, but I feel like even the language itself changes a lot. Like the Japanese language just sounds different from the American one. And this isn't idealizing them, but it's just like nicer to listen to. And especially if you can follow the sub at a nice pace.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thank you guys for guest starring on our podcast today. The discussion was pretty fun,
That was
especially
so
with
abrupt.
Jen. I thought it was really nice talking about anime and our different opinions about it because we all watch different genres. Not all of us watch the same. Yes, Marie?
I want to end it with everyone saying one anime they would recommend for everyone to watch.
Hmm. Let's think.
Like your favorite one. Which one do you really want everyone to watch?
I feel like it's debatable because when you recommend animes, you want to recommend things that seem acceptable to other people at first.
True.
To you guys, I knew how you guys were, and I immediately recommended Haikyuu. But to other people, it may be different. Noah, do you have one?
I thought of it. Durarara. Durara. Fantastic, not podcast, anime. It is so just beautiful. I don't know about like the second show because instead of making a third season, they made another show for it. This is Durarara 2, but it is a fantastic anime and probably Marsh comes in like a lion. Deep, emotional, depressing, beautiful. Just, God.
For deep emotional, I would recommend Anohana, but like I tried making Maria watch it, and it can be hard to get into in the beginning, but
Okay,
the
to be
ending is
fair,
really
I was just starting out with anime. I will watch it.
okay. But yeah, it's rewarding, but for like those who like pretty things and stuff, or like romance, Our Horror Ride, or High School Host Club, Shonen, any of them.
Yeah,
The shonen mainstreams are incredibly mainstream, and you'll find lots of people who know about it. My Hero Academia is relevant now, like very relevant, so maybe get into that. But all of them are good.
for me, the one I'm just looking at the anime posters to choose from on my wall. Jujutsu Kaisen, definitely. You guys know that's one of my favorites right now. It's really good. And probably Fullmetal Alchemist. You guys know I like that too. Those would be my recommendations. Marie, what about you?
One Punch. It's funny, hilarious. It's pretty short, so you won't like be scared by the size. And it's just really nice to watch.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, thank you guys once again, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the MarMar's podcast, when we'll end with another word from our sponsors. Thank you.